And it's one of the dwindling number of houses that have not been altered from the outside. As you well know, a lot of our houses are suffering, I think, architecturally because they're being made bigger for whatever the reason. They are being changed. We have three right along here. This one, the one next to it, and the one with the tree in the porch were all three built the same year. I'm not sure about the blueprints, whether they were the same or not. I don't think so. But these three are 1890 style houses in Washington Grove. This porch floor is new and my roof is new. The rest of mine is original from the very beginning. Then I thought maybe we would swing this way and look at McCatherine Hall if you're interested in that.
Sure.
Because it has basically unchanged outside. There's been a great deal of change inside, but the outside is just like it was 50 years ago when I came anyway. You better go back and cut that out. But anyway, I am the third tenant in this house. There have only been 3 families here. It was built for the Swingles. Then the Swingles were still here in 1946 when we came. They sold to a family by the name of Studebaker, who came from West Virginia, but they never lived here.
Really?
Never saw them.
Huh.
We bought it from the Studebakers, but I never saw them.
When was that?
1950, let's see, we lived 6 years, 1953, January of 53 is when we bought it, but we couldn't move in for several months because it was unlivable. This young man did the same thing with this one. I can't put a year on when he bought it, but it was absolutely unlivable when he bought it. He has done wonders with the outside, but not changed it basically. The inside had to be all redone again because it was literally falling apart, just like mine. This one I know precious little about, except that it's a curiosity to everybody because...
I should have brought the key. I should have brought the key.
Yeah, because... Oh, do you have it?
Yes, maybe this is the first one.
And somebody asked me the other day, what do they do with the porch when the tree grows? Well, you know something?
Trim the porch.
I don't ever remember them having done it. I suppose it has been done at some time in 50 years. Part of the porch has been trimmed around the bottom. The tree has grown oceans and oceans taller, but I don't know whether the porch has ever been trimmed or not. This one is empty at present. That one, the other 2 are.
Oh, this is empty now?
Right now, yes.
What happened to the young lady?
She moved away, and the lady who owns it, I think, plans to come back and live in it herself.
Really?
It was rented property,
Yes.
and I think that the lady will live in it. Then the next thing that I always loved about this town was McCatherine Hall, of course. Everybody loves McCatherine Hall. When I stand and look at it now, it looks exactly like it did 50 years when we came. The inside has been changed. There was a little porch, but they had to make the ramp so that the handicapped people could get in. This housed our church congregation from 1910 until 1954 when the present church was built. That was the church congregation. Now, as we go this direction in town, after we pass a couple of houses here, we get into some newer ones. This is an old house. Wasn't winterized when I came. And this house was partly winterized when I came, but not completely. These first 2 here. Then as you go farther down, the 4th one down is not too very old, and it's one of the many, how shall I put this? The many changes architecturally that are coming to our town. This 4th one doesn't seem as though, well, she'll have to ask a question. The 4th one down here doesn't seem as though it even belongs in town.
Yeah.
It is completely new in architecture and everything. Then...
Is that the big brown house?
Yes, no. Yes, it is. Excuse me, yes. I had forgotten that it had never been painted.
One that's diagonally placed on the lot?
Yes, it sits diagonally on the lot because the lot was not big enough for it. We have one down by the church that I'll show you. I don't know how they ever got a permit to build it, but I call it the hotel. It's down there. And of course, you know, this is all park area. Let's go up this way and we can see the front of some older houses still, and then go down to the houses that are down there. I remember when every house from that corner all the way to the road was built. They're all new, including the church. The time that I've been here, there was nothing here. That was all open land. Of course, this is our beautiful Grove Avenue, and in spring it is in a class all by itself.
You had a house across from you when you came, didn't you?
Excuse me?
Was there a house across the way from you when you came, or was that gone by then?
What, over this direction?
Yes.
Yes. There was that house was razed when Mr. Winter built the house that the Shiplets are in now. There was a lady by the name of Gedney who lived there. It was just three little rooms, one behind the other, about 10 or 12 feet wide.
Wow.
And naturally, like all houses that had had no attention from the time they were built, it was about ready to go by the time dear Miss Gedney went. And it was in such condition that you couldn't restore it. Over by where Dr. Horan lives was another one of they just had to take it down. They could not straighten it up enough to make it safe for human habitation. Now here is Betty Knight's, which has been left the same structurally outside, except the shingles that were on it, the asbestos shingles that seemed to be a permanent part of the Grove when I came. My house never had asbestos shingles, thank goodness. But she had the asbestos shingles taken off and this beautiful siding put on. Otherwise, hers is pretty much the same as when she came. Then, of course, we have the woman's club, which is always. We have weddings there, we have baby christenings there, we have birthday parties there. What else, George? Any social event that they're looking for. We have had
sales in the spring.
Yeah, we've had a multitude of weddings and wedding receptions there this particular summer. And those kinds of things go on in the Catherine Hall too, in addition to all of the town business.
That's right.
Is conducted in the Catherine Hall.
A lot of weddings in the bandstand too.
Yes, in the gazebo over there. I remember when that was put up. It's been repaired twice since it was put up because it's open. It has to have repair oftener than others. Then when we head up First Avenue, you get into a conglomeration. We have some that are, these two have not been changed. Efforts have been made to restore one, which have not been too successful. Then the side that you will see on First Avenue of the one to our right is the same as it was when we came. But when you go around to the front, all of that side was dismantled and new built there. I think I better leave that subject alone. But anyway, then we get into the sacred circle. I do not remember the tabernacle. It was gone long before I got here. But I understand it was, of course, that was the center of everything that happened in Washington Grove. That was why Washington Grove was born, the Methodist campground. And there were several houses between the Teat House, which we will be coming up on in a few minutes. That, to my estimation, is one of the models of making a house bigger, remodeling it, but keeping it is exactly as it should be to be part of Washington Grove.
Which one is
The
that?
white one, the white one
Pete's-
that you,
yeah.
yes, the white one that you'll see to the right.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the most beautiful examples of a reborn Washington Grove house. Everything that's there just seems to belong there. Then, of course, we have a big, beautiful new one over here. It is built in the spirit of Washington Grove houses, and it is not some atrocious color so that it looks like it came from Disneyland. That one fits very well. Then Miss Higgins was here in your house when I came.
Miss Higgins? Oh,
Miss
is she the
Higgins.
library from the lady from
Woman
Library of
the
Congress?
Library of Congress, uh-huh. that she was there when I came. And then, of course, we have George here, yours was remodeled before you bought it, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was the Emmons house. Lots of stories about the Emmons house. Then let's see, which way? Let's go this way because I want you to see the one that moved into a different way. Here we have, this one has not been changed. Julia Marston's house has not been changed. It has been kept up beautifully, but there have been no changes.
She just replaced the roof.
Yes, that's right. That's right. There are some that down First Avenue. This one has had. Who lives here, George? That's not English. English is the other.
Hutch lives here.
Who?
Hutch.
Hutchison.
Right.
They have built more house than they had when they came. Most of it has gone up for the same reason that a lot of Washington Grove houses have gone up because they don't have land enough to go any other direction. Then these two are the same. The English cottage was not all, this was Wardell, which is for sale now. I don't know if the English cottage is, but this is.
When was that built?
Yes.
Oh, the English house.
Cottage, it was there when I came 50 years ago, but I don't think it had been there but a short time before, because the elder Nuttalls were in the Fisher house when I came. Then this was a daughter who was here, and the Ordeals were great friends with Dr. Nuttall, who had that house there. Spent lots of hours in both rooms. Did families in here with children? Never had a family in there with children. Obviously. And that's what I did. I took care of children and old people and sick people living in here. So I was in and out of a lot of these houses. Now the one we're facing right here, what is the dog lady's name, George? Anyway, that was in, we're surprised that it's still standing. It was in such terrible disrepair when we came. You see, these houses had not been lived in. Maybe 2 months a year people were here. They were on locust posts, which still are under many, including my own.
That's right.
I still have my locust posts under mine.
Really? Really? They held up pretty well.
Oh, yes, they have. That house sat there for 70 years on those locust posts before we bought it. Then, of course, here's our church. This is George built in 1954. That was the church of George. He did not build anything else in a Methodist camp meeting place. These two houses, I remember when they were built. I don't know who's in this one. Selby in the second one. Now we're coming up on the hotel. Beautiful example of building and structure. Too much house for the ground it's on. Then the one that's on out the road from that is the Germans, and the Swedish were on the other side. I remember, of course, all of this. All of this was vacant when I came here, clear to the corner.
Really? All woods?
All woods, all vacant, all the way to the corner. Family lived on the corner of Center and, what is this, Chestnut? Center and Chestnut by the name of Aiken. They were the only people from the corner all the way to Macaulay Street. Now we can go back up the hill and I'll get you to the one that really stood up. It's a beautiful piece of work, the remodeling of this particular house. It was our first house. We moved in it 1946, immediately after the war.
I know which house you mean.
Yes, you do. And I had read in the little town paper that somebody had been granted a permit to razz a house. And I thought, what's up there that somebody's going to tear down? Of course, I had not been in it in years. And when I saw the house going down the back road in the dumpster, I nearly lost my hat.
Oh.
But Every man has his own ideas about what he wants for a home. And this is theirs.
Well, the new addition is in the spirit of the Grove, though, isn't it?
Yes, it's in the spirit of the Grove a lot more than some.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grant you that. But it's only because, well, I'm too attached to what was there before.
Oh, sure.
I'm too attached to what was there before. It really isn't any what is the word I'm looking for? It's a beautiful looking place. But it just doesn't seem like Washington Grove to me, because you see these houses were so close together. You never think of one being way up high like that.
Yeah.
And this is Little Acorns. This is a double house. They were both there when I came, connected by the walkway, what do you call it? Areaway. But,
Oh, they had been connected?
oh yes, they were. The breezeway was there when I came, but they were far, far from being what they are now. In fact, Dr. Nuttall lived in that for a short time while this was being built. So this must have been built after 1946, something like that. I can't really put a year on all of these because I didn't pay that much attention to them. My mother and father were with me, and we had one child when we came, and another came in 16 months, so I was busy. Yes, I was busy. 10 years apart, one a girl and one a boy. You might just as well have the army and whatever. But anyway, this house has been added to. I don't know what this is. I think this is a studio of some kind. Somebody made something there. But just, this was Mrs. Arch's house. Just the regular house part here. Then here we have another example of where we change to make room for family. Changes in taste. And as you say, what went on next door to that at 406 is not completely out of the spirit of the Grove. That kind of shocks me when I come around the corner. Beautiful workmanship in both of them. The same workman did both of them.
Yeah.
The next one we're
Here are
coming
the
to.
acorns. I'll just shoot them
Yeah,
from this
these-
side.
That's the double house. That. Oh yes, oh yes. They came just shortly after we did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Pews
The
lived
Pews
here?
came. Oh yes, this was where they lived when they first came to Washington Grove. Mary Kay was just an infant. Jane's youngest child and our youngest child were born the same day.
Really?
Neither one of us knew the other was having, because we didn't know one another.
Mm-hmm.
But Barry was 10 minutes older than Mary Kay, so needless to say, she looked down her nose at him. Thought that Barry had
A mere kid.
just a little brat. But anyway, this is where the Packards lived, and this house has not basically been changed. I don't know how long the Packards have been here, a good long while. And that candle is never, that light is never out in that window up there.
Yeah, I love that.
I'd love to know the significance of it. There surely must be some. Now that one and the two next to it they have not been changed either. Although the one on the end where Susan and that had great well, they had to renovate it very much. It was in very, very poor condition when they came and got it. But they didn't, it's a Grove house.
Which one? The
one with the flag.
oh yeah.
Hard to get them with the trees.
Yeah, it's with the autofocus.
And then we come across to Grandma
Posterity,
Christie's
I
house.
apologize.
The senior Christies were there when we came. Here, right across here. This house has not been, this was the Gein house where the Hopes are. This house has not had anything torn down or anything else added. This house is the same. The Bent house is the same. They have all been new roofed or a porch replaced or that sort of thing. But basically, they are as they were when they were built.
Now, when did they start living year-round in these houses?
Shortly
Like
after the
50s
Second
or
World War.
Uh-huh.
Shortly after we came here in 1946.
Yeah.
And that was when housing was just non-existent.
Right.
you just had to have, that was the biggest reason we came. I didn't even know Washington Grove existed until then. I'd never heard of it. But
So it
after-
didn't get any people like during the war who were moving to the area?
No, not permanently. Now, the people who had been here before, who came in the summer people were still here during the war. But right after the Second World War is when, if there was a migration, is when it started, because people had to have places to live. And they were just like us. They bought them. They worked on them as they could. What is here now is the culmination of that effort. We did the same thing where we are. You could walk completely up under my house, clear to the porch when we went there. Why you don't know Waken? Why you don't know Waken? But now this one on the corner, we'll go on around and go down Macaulay, because the one on the corner where humans live, there was a regular grow house there, a very large regular grow house, one of not too many on this end of town that were two-story houses. But I understand they built the house that they're in around that house and then took the other one out. Maybe their land was closer than I thought. There are several in town that have done that. One down on the back street. They built around.
We walk through here every day.
Oh yes, oh yes. I come every day. I come every day.
So you see everything that changes.
Yep, I see every shingle that's moved, every flower that's planted, every one that's uprooted and put out to the trash man. And now we're coming up on what we affectionately called Aunt O's house, the one where the Nagan people live. All of this wood part, only the stone part was there when we came. You can't see it from here. Only the stone part was there. Then after, I guess when the Nagans bought it, I think this was basically put on to accommodate her mother, Mrs. Nagan's mother, who came to live with them. Now I understand it's inhabited by young people. I see a lot of them come and go. This is another house. This is the house. And as you can see, I don't know what their project is going to be.
Re-roofing.
Like a roof.
Looks like a new roof. It's time for it too. Yes, this is.
But there have been no rooms torn down, no rooms added, nothing pushed up, nothing pushed in the ground. That's the way it was when we came.
Well, this is Eve Seabard in Dodger. Who was in this house when you came?
Judge Aitchison.
For whom the crossing is named.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
That's right. These houses over here were not built when we came. The house that Mary Chalstrom is in was a two-room summer place that was owned by Al Christie III. They were there only in the summer when we came. I can't put a year on when they added to the house, but originally Al and Marge built this house and lived in it X number of years before they went south. Then here is the one. This was the Billheimer house, the brown one over there. And it was a regular Grove house. Big two-story house. Then there was quite a part of it on the back that was only one level. Well, as it happens to the one where we lived in, the one level part went to pieces first. So it had to come down. And then when the Newmans came, it wasn't long until I understood they built around the old one and then took it out. I really couldn't vouch for that. But it was quite a house. They had 3 children who grew up there when they came here. And we've already seen those down Fifth Avenue when we came by. Let's see now. As you go around the corner here, you come face to face with what was the Ivani house. Couldn't look at the name for a second. The Ivani house has not been changed. It's exactly as it was when we came. There was a house next to that is gone. One of the original ministers in Washington Grove by the name of Hiller had a house next to that. But after the Hiller family, well, they all died except one daughter.
These were all houses in where the park is now, or?
No. No houses on that side, not ever. Not ever. No houses on that side. All on the right-hand side of the road. Never have been any houses over there, and I don't think there ever will be.
Oh no.
Town history suggests that that had been where outdoor plumbing had been operating in the early days.
Really? Really? Outdoor plumbing in this
Oh,
vicinity here?
yes.
Before the pipes came.
You mean they had? This is where the town outhouses were, or?
Back in the woods.
Uh-huh. Huh.
Well, and the houses, when they first began to have what was laughingly called indoor plumbing, it wasn't hooked up to the water.
Oh, just septic, or
Yeah,
just?
no, not septic. They were just like the little chairs with cans beneath them.
Oh.
And they were collected every so often. You haven't heard the story of the honey wagons?
Oh no, they had honey wagons going through here.
They did.
Uh-oh.
And this was the Ivani house. I don't know the young couple's name who are there now. They have a young child, precious little boy.
Oops.
They won't have any.